I blamed one guy for ruining the biggest day of my life, then ended up marrying him. A few years ago, I was flying to my final interview for my dream job. While rushing through airport security, I grabbed a black carry-on that looked exactly like mine and ran toward my gate. A minute later, someone called out, "Excuse me." I turned around to see a tall, cute guy holding another identical suitcase. Before he could finish, I cut him off. "If you're trying to hit on me, this is terrible timing." He looked at me for a second and said, "That's my bag." I barely heard him. I was already running toward my gate and waved him off without stopping. A few seconds later, I opened the suitcase to grab my passport and froze. It wasn't mine. I turned around and saw him running through the crowd with my bag, trying to catch up. By the time we swapped our bags, the boarding gate had already closed. I missed my flight and the interview I'd spent months preparing for. I was so embarrassed that I blamed him anyway. I snapped and said, "You should have stopped me sooner." He didn't argue. He just quietly said, "I tried," and walked away. I spent that night hoping I'd never see him again. A few months later, I walked into my cousin's wedding and there he was, standing beside the groom. The moment our eyes met, I wanted the floor to open up. He recognized me immediately and with a teasing smile said, "You are not here to blame me, right?" I wanted to disappear, but I couldn't help smiling. Later that evening, I finally let him tell his side of the story. He had chased me halfway across the terminal calling after me, but I never turned around because I was talking on my phone. He picked up my suitcase because he thought showing it to me would make me stop. Instead, it made both of us miss our flights. The entire disaster happened because I never slowed down long enough to listen. We started dating a month later, got engaged 2 years after that, and got married last spring. I still get embarrassed whenever I remember how confidently I blamed him for a mistake I made. But then I look at him and realize that the missed flight, the wrong suitcase, and that awkward first meeting all led me here. The worst moment of my life became the reason I found the best person in it.